On my way home, that's a speed trap. I was not speeding. On my way back to Ontario, a very, very busy day at Northfield Park today. Apparently there's a bunch of snow coming. We had all the 2-year-olds trained yesterday. I want to train all the 3-year-olds that were supposed to go fast today. Now, we know we're not training them Saturday, Thursday back Saturday. That would be a little close. So today we got to train them, button them up pretty good today. A number of horses trained between 2.3 and 2.5. The horses that are still at 1.5 miles are training really well. I was happy with the entire group. Now, I mentioned the other day that we have 34 horses qualifying soon. That number is actually a little higher than that when you factor in that we already qualified World for 2. We already qualified more than you know. A number of other horses are getting closer in Ontario. That number's closer to 40. I think we'll have 40 horses qualified. I believe we will. 40 horses qualified by April 1st. And many of those will be qualified by March 15th. Or, no, we're going to school them next week, which is the 15th. By the 3rd week in March, they'll all be qualified. So let's talk about all the 3-year-olds. I guess we'll get out of the way. Yesterday, we raced 2 horses. They both made breaks. Stonebridge Acadi, Brett had told Stacy he thought that he had never thought out a little bit more. When we race our horses, especially the ones that I think are a little rusty sometimes, I'll go 2 trips them and go 1 mile with them. Stacy said she just warmed Acadi up 1 trip yesterday and just jogged him. So I think after hearing what Brett had said and then telling her, you know, this is generally how we warm the horses up, it's just a difference. Now, Acadi could have been a seamless transition, but in this case, I think that both what Brett said matches up perfectly with how we usually warm the horse up. So probably needs a mile before he races, at least for a little while till he gets his legs under him in Southern Ohio. But for the most part, after the break, he looked great. You need to get rid of those breaks. There's nothing more frustrating than seeing a horse make a break that you know has potential to do well in that race or win that race. And I went through the exact same thing later with HB Maestro, who never runs. His left knee was a little warm. I think that's bothering him a little bit. Just a number of little things that were bothering him, and I can tell you, I know they were bothering him because when we were going up to the gate, he made a break. He wanted out. Usually when you see horses do that, you know, their feet are hurting them, knees are hurting them. Somewhere is bothering them where they don't feel comfortable going a mile, going a race mile. And he was looking to get out, which he did. So we can address all that. I don't think there'll be any, it's nothing major. I don't think there'll be any major changes that need made with HB Maestro. We just need to clean him up a little bit, probably do those knees, and, you know, take his blood. We started him on, I had asked Cindy last night after the race, Jason was there, I said, hey, maybe start him on sulfa. Sulfa is a broad span antibiotic, a broad spectrum antibiotic, usually a go-to medication for horses a little under the weather. Now, we haven't got his blood back. We don't know if he's a little bit sick, but I can almost assure you something is going on with his blood. He just felt flat. There's no lameness that I could speak of, but he felt flat. Left line a little more than usual. Left knee was a little warm. 1 + 1 = 2. It's one part of it. The second part was he a little under the weather. The vet will let us know tomorrow when he gets the blood back. But in preparation of what I believe is maybe a slightly elevated white count, we put him on sulfa yesterday. So that was yesterday. Not ideal in any way, shape, or form. We had 2 horses that theoretically had decent shots yesterday, and in hindsight, both had good shots yesterday had they stayed on gate, and both made breaks. So that's 2 times, although it wasn't official because they didn't chart Acadi with a break the last time. That's 2 times that we had every horse in the go make a break. Certainly not anything you want to repeat, and certainly didn't think I'd be talking about it just weeks later. Anyway, moving on. We'll talk about the optimistic things. The training trips yesterday were absolutely fantastic for the horses here in Ohio. You know, as we get through the spring, you'll see days when they'll come out and they just look like race horses. And what the horses did yesterday was very, very impressive. You can see the work that we put into them, that our trainers and riders have put into those horses on on training days shining through with, you know, the way that, I can only speak for the ones that I went for, I guess, but the way that Pull the Shoes snapped through the inside, the same way that Cowboy in the Cowboy by the Sea comes screaming through the inside also. Sweeney with the multiple moves he made in the training sets yesterday, and then fended off a hard-charging Sunset Acres girl. All those horses that we've been watching so closely, just kind of a light bulb went off yesterday for a lot of them. It just felt like they were understanding their work and really putting forth a very positive effort. So I was very happy with the 2-year-olds, but today was all about the 3-year-olds. I'm going to give you an update on everybody. Austral Hanover, the biggest problem we have with Austral Hanover is the timing of having him ready. Get him ready too early, it's a waste, because there's no real races for him. I'm not racing Austral Hanover in a non as a 6, Pennsylvania bred or otherwise. He would have to race in the non-winners at 50 with allowances, I would imagine, which is a salty enough crew in its own right. If I'm not mistaken, that's at 155 mile. That's where those miles came from with HB Maestro, if I'm not mistaken. So we will have him ready a couple of weeks before the stake races, but not a giant. We don't have to have him ready way before, because you're going to run into a problem of nowhere to race. So Austral Hanover, another 1.5 miles this morning. We'll probably go by again, go with them again, the same for the next couple of weeks. And today we threw the race bike on a ton of them, and you can tell the 1.5 miles really lagged them up, because, you know, I went decent to very good miles with quite a few horses today, and it didn't seem to bother them at all. When I come off the track, when I say this all the time, with babies we've stretched out, or 3-year-olds that are training hard, I'll always just walk by their stall quite a few times, see how they're recovering. 1, are they blowing a lot? 2, are they hanging their head, or they got their, you know, they got their head over the gate looking for hay or feed? Are they looking for another round? That's kind of what I want to see. I want to see that, you know, I'm ready to go again type look in their eye, and I saw a lot of that today. So Austral Hanover, just in a holding pattern, as I put it. I'm not in a big hurry to get him ready. We'll have him ready when he's ready. Brace for landing about 3 weeks away. I trained him a very stiff mile the other day. We made some shoeing adjustments on the veterinarian's recommendations. She thought his feet were bothering him. Now, didn't find any heat, but upon testers, when you put the testers on him, he was quite footsore in his sole. So we went for what I don't usually go for. I went with a mushroom shoe this time with this horse. So that sounds exactly like what it is, like a spade almost. You have the front part of the shoe, and then you have this brace that comes in and comes back, and it leaves the back corners of the feet open. It takes the pressure off of those corners. Now, it's not something, Stay Close got very good with them on last year. It's not really a go-to shoe for us. I have used it with sporadic results, I guess. Some good, some bad. I had them on a couple of horses this year, and some were fine and some weren't. It really helped. They really helped Stay Close. So I'm looking for a similar jump forward for Brace for Landing, but he's been training very good. He's about 3 weeks away. I think Carter Michael Deal, all those top-end horses are about 3 weeks away. You know, you got poor Austral, who is a Stallion Series horse, but 5 wins, and then you have like Spitfire Overseas with 2. So we can get him ready a tiny bit earlier, because he'll fit like a glove in the non-winners of 3. If we're planning on racing him in Sire Stakes and Grand Circuit Company, non-winners of 3 shouldn't be a hard lift for him first start out. So Carter Michael Deal, Brace for Landing, Spitfire Overseas, all those horses are around 3 or 4 weeks away. Columbus will be schooling next week. He was very good today. Strong in the face. You know, it's really hard to go a mile in 2:20 with this guy. Jason, we ended up going a mile and a half last half in 1:03 with those horses today. So I was really happy with Oster was in there, and he actually made a break, but I just had his hobbles out too long, and I knew it when I turned him, and I'm like, he'll be fine. And he wasn't even a break, but he was fine after that. Went a good mile. Columbus and Tailgate Buzz both look very good. So we'll go down the list alphabetically. Austral, Brace for Landing, 3 weeks. Carter Michael Deal, 3-4 weeks. Columbus is schooling next week. Coupe de Ville, I trained Coupe de Ville in 2-3 last half and 58 seconds today. I was planning on going a little slower with her. She felt good when I turned her to go her mile, and I went by feel. I didn't stretch her out. She was well in hand finishing up her mile with the air hood on. Gonna change her front shoe a little bit, or front shoes a little bit, because she was picking at her knee. That's with no hobbles on, by the way. 2-3 last half, 58 last quarter, and 28 apiece without hobbles on. So she's getting close and looking good. Crantini, about 4 weeks. Again, same type of situation. This is another horse with 4 or 5 lifetime wins. A lot of money made. Just be careful where we go to race him. So Crantini, he'll likely be a week, maybe 2, even behind Spitfire, Brace, and Carter Michael Deal, because they have places to race, and Crantini doesn't just yet. Cunning Connie, probably 2-3 weeks away with her. She's very close also. Cutie Cumber today, went 1.5 miles with Cutie Cumber. I'll tell you, the horse I thought looked as good or better than anybody this week that I trained was Leaps and Bounds. I put her on the front. Our last mile was 2:12. Last half at 1:03. Cutie Cumber was behind me. She's a bigger, heavier mare. The Leaps and Bounds, a little more frail, streamlined filly. Taller than Cutie Cumber, but a little more narrow and streamlined. Trotting good, trained good, ready to go. Cutie Cumber, about another 3 weeks for her, maybe 4, but Leaps and Bounds is ready to go. Where are we at here? Cutie Cumber Fish, probably a 5-fish species, probably 3-4 weeks away with her also. Full Heart, I trained Full Heart in 2-3 last half and 59 today. No hobbles on her now. She did put some steps in coming out of there. She did put the odd step in the first turn, but we are going to try her without hobbles. I'm going to school her next week. She's up for schooling next weekend. Off the Black will be qualifying on Saturday. He schooled very, very good the other day. Everything we wanted to see so far, really in his life, we have. You know, he went from being horrible, horrible, horrible to getting better, better, and he always had that I called him Rudy last year, where he just felt like he wanted to be more and do more, and it transitioned onto the track well. I think he took a 2-year-old mark of 54, 55, and did well, did as well as he could all year. James on the other day, and I could tell he was trying to be reserved, but I could tell he was really impressed with him. High Enterprise, running in still a bit today. I'm pretty sure it's her feet. I want to get Mike to go over her. I did go 1.25 with her, so she's close. Do we school her next week? Do we train her once more? We'll play that by ear next week. You could see her into school, or you could see her in training 1 more week. We'll see how that goes next week. Horn Player will be qualifying on Saturday. I'd like to see a little bit more from her, but she wasn't bad. It's a big, big, strong filly. She did take a 2-year-old mark at 57, so it's not like she wasn't there. 58, 57? One or the other. Wasn't like she wasn't there. She was. She's a nice filly, and I think she'll come forward, but I would like to see a little bit more from her right now. Landing Pad is schooling next week, but I don't think schooling will lead to 1 week and into qualifiers. I think you're going to see 2 or 3 schoolers out of Landing Pad until we get him completely screwed down tight. I haven't seen him in a few weeks. Dominic's been happy with him. Let's see what happens on Saturday. He's supposed to school on Saturday, so I'll see what James says about him this week. Landing Strip about 3-4 weeks away. This guy looks very good. Very, very, very good. Really happy with him. Hold on. Looks. I haven't seen him train fast. Jason has been filling me in, and, you know, Jason understands too, you know, what a good horse feels like, and he said this horse feels fantastic, and he's right. You know, I've seen him go slow. I've seen him on the track. He looks good. This is a horse that I had high expectations for last year, more even towards his 3-year-old season, but even in his 2-year-old season, I thought that he maybe didn't get everything done that he should have last year. We castrated him. He grew up and filled out, looks good. I'm very optimistic about Landing Strip this year. Leaps and Bounds, as I said, almost top billing. She came a last half at 1:03 in the jog card, 1 mile and 2:12 after going a first half at 20, and I could have went around again, which is not her. She is not a great trainer at 1.5 miles and never has been. For her to go that mile today makes me believe that she is now ready to go. We'll probably school her next week. Merchant Man, probably 3-4 weeks, same, maybe 3 weeks away with him. Harry's been very coy with Merchant Man. I've heard from his stable that he likes Merchant Man and he thinks he's going to be a pretty decent trotter. I haven't got any direct updates, but I know he's been around 215 or a little bit more with him. Mo Power Baby, I trained 1.5 miles today. She looked good. Probably 1 more 1.5 miles. So I'm going to say 3 weeks with Mo Power Baby. Also, More Than You Know is racing next week. His qualifier was fantastic. 56, 27 and a piece on the end of it. He looked really good. Nothing But a Dreamer, probably again, same as the other colts, likely 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. He looks extremely good training. I've seen him 3 or 4 times now train, and he looks great. My 1%, we have him back in now. I believe they swapped him out the other day. He'll jog for a week, start training, probably 4 weeks, maybe 5 for more. My 1%. I didn't. I jumped over the very first horse, the pacing filly. Oh my God, what's her name? Of course you kicked me out. The Ohio filly. It's right on the tip of my tongue. What's worse than that? Having something right on the tip of your tongue and not being able to just grab it. The first one is absolutely for you. I knew she was the first one. She's probably 3 weeks. I think maybe 4 weeks away. Where are we at now? My 1%. Oh my gosh, I trained today. Now, we trained. Jason Merriman went with Swinging Senorita. I went with Oh My Gosh. They were right together at the wire. 2.5, last half 58. They were both very good. Now, Swinging Senorita has to be screwed down quite a bit tighter than Oh My Gosh does, as he fits a maiden and she's getting prepped for the Hackett. But Swinging Senorita looked great. Jason said she was extremely good. And I thought Oh My Gosh was actually decent. Actually decent today. Sir Strong is 2, maybe 3 weeks away. We changed his shoes too. I put those mushroom shoes on him. His feet were sore. His side bones were sore on his feet. His side bones, his feet. And his knees were sore. We might have the vet do his knees. He's 3 weeks from racing, so we can put a drop of cortisone in that injection. But I'll talk to Dr. Bosenjack a bit more about that when I get back. He's, as I said, 3 weeks away probably. Sister Solange will be racing next week. Where she races, I don't know yet. I haven't talked to Megan since she arrived in New York. Goal number one is to start putting some weight on her and get her appetite back. Megan thought she needed at least a week to do that. More than happy to give her that week. We'll talk a little bit more about where she's going to race. I know a lot of our clients are hoping that isn't Yonkers, but at the end of the day, I just want to see her race so she can win. Can't take that just yet. Jacob, I'll call you right back. I said I'd call you right back. So we were at Sister Solange, Smoking Hot Irish Girl, 3 weeks. She looks very good on the track. Man, I like this filly. Spitfire Overseas, same thing, about 3 weeks for this guy. Swinging Senorita, as I said, probably 2-3 weeks for her. We'll have her ready to qualify twice and race in Hackett. I can tell you that. She's on schedule to do that. Looked very, very strong today. Tactical Mounds, probably 4 weeks for this filly. I love Tactical Mounds. I can't wait to see her train a little harder. Tailgate Buzz was great today. He's ready to probably go on the race bike, go mile 2.3, 2.4. He'll be ready 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I think he actually has 4 wins, so got to be careful where he fits also. Maybe there's a 4-3 PA bred 4, maybe something like that at the Meadows. That would be helpful. He'll be ready probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Warwi Yuri, probably 3 weeks away. He's 2 weeks from schooling. Now, he schooled 3 times last year, so the gait shouldn't really bother him. I'm so impressed with the way he looked last week. I can't wait to see him school. And then What a Mission, same thing, about 3-4 weeks for this guy. But as you can see, there's 31 horses on that page, and all 31 of those horses are inside of a month of racing. Maybe not my 1% at the very most, but everybody else is inside of a month of racing. So I would suspect by April 1st, we'll have 40 horses qualified, more than we have right now. So a busy, busy April coming. But for now, to get to April, we have to get through March. Those are all your 3-year-olds. Good luck to everybody, especially at the Dustin Hanover group today, racing at the Meadows. Ronnie Wren, I talked to him on the way over to the Meadows. Just told him about the horse and what his tendencies are like and what he's like. And then Atlas Hanover, I don't really know what's going to happen. He's like 12-1 tonight in this class. He's got the 9-hole, which is a trailing post. We'll see. I'll defer any discussion about Atlas Hanover until after he races. Right now, I'm heading home. I'm going to go home, pick up Amy and the kids. We're going to drive directly to Lansing, Michigan, where I am going to be speaking tomorrow and Saturday on fractional ownership. Somebody asked me, did you make a speech? No, I didn't actually. I'm going to bring some talking notes. That's about it, really. I mean, when it comes to fractional ownership, when it comes to the stable, when it comes to you and our clients, and where we came from, what we are, what we've accomplished, and what we want to accomplish. I don't need any speeches to talk about that, and I know I barely need any talking points. So when it comes to tomorrow, it should be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see who's going to show up. Younger crowd, our current clients, everybody's welcome. So if you're in the East Lansing area, Friday around 4 p.m., don't hesitate to drop by and say hello. I always like reaching out and talking to our clients. Amy and the kids are coming. That should be a lot of fun too. Not really Disney World, East Lansing, but at the same time, I like traveling around. So we'll see. Anyway, that's it for me today. I will talk to you all very soon. There won't be a whole lot of updates this weekend, as you've been updated on the horses that trained on Tuesday. You saw them all train on Wednesday on the video. There won't be any training at Northfield Park as the track's closed Friday into Saturday afternoon, and which is fine. They all trained great this week. Ontario, they're going to have a very light training session on Friday tomorrow, because Saturday they moved the qualifiers to Saturday, so hopefully we can get some light training in tomorrow. Qualifying on Saturday, we have some horses to qualify, and school also, I think, definitely school on Saturday, so still lots going on. We're not going to get them all qualified if they don't get schooled first, so very interesting next few weeks coming up at the stable. A lot of work going on, a lot of horses qualifying, which means a lot of racing coming. Take care, everybody.